speak as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And our like sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
Help!
Here,
Oh,
take my hand.
ah!
Come on. You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand.
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No, get it away from me!
Take it. Take my hand.
I hear the train a-comin', it's rollin' round the bend.
Welcome everybody. It's been a while. When was the last time we did this? Actually, probably hasn't been too long of a while, but I don't recall ever streaming this late. It is currently 9:15 in the evening in Australia, in Melbourne. But, I mean, that's just what you have to do these days. When was the last time I did a draw stream, coloring stream? Probably wasn't that long ago, actually. It was 2 weeks ago. I thought it was a lot longer than that. It feels a lot longer than that. So you got to do these days. You know, you got Ethan streaming the Trash Cast every night. Shane, and I don't know what Shane's doing. He's going whenever. People are. It's hard to. It's hard to find your place. And I know people are shuffling things around a bit, trying to. It's a whole new landscape out there. Trashcast is shooking everything up. Oh God, Shane, I'm starting up another stream. I knew it. How the hell are you? Jav Styler first, Erster in German, I believe. It doesn't matter because I don't do the first on the draw streams, but thank you for your enthusiasm nonetheless. Creative M second. I know, everyone trying to get in there. Did Bancroft kill Shawl? I don't know who Shawl is, but no, I haven't killed anyone. Maromi's here. Hendon Schneerly, hello, darling. We've got Athaline, Devilfish, Hail Cat. The cat is outside. He does like to hang with me at night at nighttime, but not tonight. It's too hot out there. It's proper Australian summer out there. Maromi's in the house. Take the flipper hand. I'm the flipper hand tonight. There's no flipper Jimmy. We got Skip Edwards in the house. Mr. Shane Davis. We just finished up EFAPing. He's getting on the Eric July train as well. Everyone is. And they're getting big numbers. I feel like I make enough enemies, you know, as it is without even trying. I don't need to go out of my way to make more. Vina, hello, late. It's 10 a.m. Where is it 10 a.m.? I'm going to Google that. Where is it 10 a.m. right now? Let's have a look. What are you going to tell me? It's not very helpful. Casablanca? Accra? Are you in Accra? Are you in Reykjavik? Don't know. Hello, Caleb Reynolds. Genau. I remember many words from German, but it's hard to put them all together. We got Liam in the house, fellow Aussie. Yeah. Well, that's what Cecil said that today. He said he's probably not going to do the Cecil show because now it's over the same time as Trashcast. He's like, he's probably going to do it past 50. And I noticed that the Mange and Mandy show is earlier as well. Everyone's reshuffling. But he pointed out, it's like we all share audiences. And when we say we share audiences, what we mean is we're borrowing Ethan's audience for a time sometimes. In Germany. Well, willkommen. Wie geht's? I used to be fluent in German, if you can believe it. If you can believe it. Val Schnitzel says, good morning. I'm coloring the 24-page coloring challenge continues. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to make it in February. It's just not going to happen. Oh, I did. I did. I apologize, Sumi. Sumo, I skipped right over Sumo. I saw him there, and then I ignored it. He said, bankrupt, you sneaky mofo. Skip is enjoying the amount of people. He's trying to fly under the radar. I saw it, Skip. I saw what you were doing. I apologize, Sumo. I didn't mean to do that. Hello, Eric. Eric, you're up late. I think. I don't know. I really don't know where you live, so it's not like I stalk you or anything. But yeah, I wanted to get all of these. I got 24 pages I wanted to get colored. This month, it ain't going to happen, but I think I probably got another week in it, I'm guessing, which is disappointing for everyone involved, mostly me. I will be awake. I'll probably be coloring for another 3 hours tonight. I've already been doing some. I just got to get back into the habit of working on stream because I'm out of practice. And it's not good because I did always enjoy working on stream. But, it gets into your head. I even tried drawing on stream, and that was a disaster. But it's like any skill. You gotta use it or you lose it. And I thought, well, I was going to do it yesterday, but then I was just enjoying Finn's show so much. Even the guitar playing. Actually, he was really good on one of them. So I thought, I'll do it tomorrow if he's not streaming. I don't know if he's going to stream now or later, but if he is, it's fine. Use it or you loosened. Says awesome one. That's how it works. I don't know if this is actually doing anything. I'm trying to turn the lights on. I'm starting with something easy, a panel that's very similar to another panel I've done so that I can just kind of ease into it. Oh, is Shell Davis? Is that the I didn't catch it. Is that the new meme? Shane has so many alter egos. Can't keep up. It's going to be a little bit tricky because I normally color full screen, but I'm gonna have to figure this out just by zooming out, unfortunately. Or in. Someone actually asked me a coloring question today on Twitter. That was pretty cool. They asked me if I ever check my levels, my contrast, and I do. Sometimes. It's like this. I know that's CMYK. I have it set up where I can just check the level values like that. So you kind of know where it's sitting in the grayscale. Skip hasn't backed Painted Death yet. He's waiting for the I'll read your script. Keep waiting. They put me on the waiting to excel waiting list. They said, don't hold your breath. Yeah, I know he EFAP that. He had then had a breakdown at Woden Shot. That happens every stream, though, doesn't it? I thought that was a regular occurrence. I didn't think that was anything out of the ordinary. So now they're calling him Shal Davis. As in Al, Shal Davis. I get it. I get it now. Right. Okay, I was a little slow on the uptake there. I was thinking, for some reason, I was thinking a shawl. Like a granny's wear. Shane is here. He's in the chat. Hello, Woden Shot. Speaking of, seems like a nice chill stream to hang out. It is. It will be. It'll just be me coloring and then you guys in the chat, and I'll try and respond as much as I can. I don't like boring draw streams when no one talks as much as the next guy. So I'll try and do that. The king of that is Shantan Jetty. I don't know how he does it, but I'll do my best. He has like a topic and everything. He is a mad lad. The thing when I start streaming and coloring is I just start pressing buttons in like weird places, and I never do that when I'm by myself. So things go a little slow, unfortunately. I think I'm just gonna stay by myself, Liam, if that's okay. When I get chatting to people, it slows me down extra. So no offense, just like chilling with the chat. Hendon Schneely, 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I do have to honor that, though, of course.
You little ripper!
We got William, Caleb, Creative, Skip, and Val Schnitzel, all gifted memberships. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Haldir posting the link to Painted Death for Skip to finally back it. I'm going to back your book, Skip. I don't know what the problem is there. It's because I didn't read his script one time. And I said to him, I'm not really a script reading kind of guy. I see what I've done here. I've screwed this up. Put the shadows in the wrong place. I'm an idiot. All right. Well, Time to fix that. See, for some reason, I must have thought that this was one of the unlit scenes. This whole sequence takes place in this manor, this English manor, and they go from room to room and hallway, corridor, and they keep turning the lights on and off and on, which is helpful because it keeps it kind of, the colors a bit different, and but I do get confused here and there. I'm not gonna lie. Buddha Bear says, "Hey, quick chat about anime." While Mo isn't here. I know nothing about anime. Nothing. This grayscale that you're seeing here is the masks that I use. They control the shadows and the highlights. So there's no shadows, no highlights, flat. So what I'm basically trying to do is add depth and a little bit of mood, a little bit of atmosphere. Skip was drawing his book. It's about reading the Lucent. How meta. Definitely not an architect. Awesome one. I just have folders of reference, or I just Pinterest is where I go to actually, and I think I was looking for Victorian manners, Victoria stately homes, or something like that. Just get a whole bunch of ideas. Damn it, I keep going to the wrong friggin' panel here. William Wellborn stayed at a manor house converted to a hotel in the UK in '94. It was fantastic. Maybe it was this one. This one is made up. This one is called Canterbury Manor, and it's in Kent. It's full of secrets. Awesome one stayed at a castle turned hotel in Sicily. We stayed at a villa in Tuscany, just outside of Florence. It was just like the most amazing thing ever. It was out of a friggin' postcard. All right, I'm starting to get my groove on, I think. Starting to figure it out a little bit. Sphincter couch. Yeah, I did. I put those little little buttholes on it. You know, adds a bit of charm, a bit of detail. Sumo's gonna see how long you can listen before falling asleep. Imagine falling asleep to me talking. That's I mean, that's one way to live your life, I suppose. Why does the couch have buttholes? I don't know. It's an old couch. When you stay at a villa in Italy, does it come with your own Roman Legion? No, but my brother, we were there for his wedding, hired a guy to make pizzas in the wood-fired oven. Had the most amazing old kitchen. He made wood-fired pizzas, and they cost us like 30 euros a pizza or something. It was a complete rip-off. Liam just started a stream there. See, it happens every time. But you know, I don't think you can. I don't think you can have a complete. You know, you can't have YouTube to yourself for very long. Yeah, Val, it was one of those. You know, it's a wedding thing, so they're gonna just rip you off completely, sort of situations. I think. We had the most amazing pizza in Florence. And Victoria was there. She was about 2 years old, I think. She had her very first ever pizza and gelati in Florence. And I remember we ate it next to a 2,000-year-old 2,000-year-old Roman gate and wall. It was just massive. It was pretty surreal. Felt pretty blessed. There was also I remember there was a really drunk old Italian lady. And she was just smitten with Victoria because Victoria was, you know, super cute as a button, long blonde curly locks. And she couldn't get over her. She's just, oh, principessa, oh, bella, like that. She was so drunk. It's funny. And also, we left the hotel room. And, you know, we were in Florence. We dressed up. We looked good. We put some effort in. And Mel was in this summer dress. It was quite warm out. And we walked from the hotel down through the city area. Oh my God. It's so funny that people in, you know, America or Australia, wherever, complain about catcalling. It's like 100% of the men either just stopped and stared at Mel, like looked her up and down, no shame, just stared her up and down, like checked her out, like, or were like, eh, bella, oh, eh, like that, you know, like, like that, right to her face. 100% of them, every single man that we walked past did it. So probably like 2,000 times. It was crazy. When in Rome, says Dim with a chicken. We weren't in Rome at that point, but we did go to Rome, and Rome was beautiful. Unfortunately, everywhere I go, I get sick, and I did get very sick in Rome, which is very unfortunate because I wasn't able to enjoy it. Felt like I was nearly going to die. Probably did. You grow a mustache, you can speak Italian. That's what I hear. All you have to do is go in front of everything, and you're perfectly fine. You'll get by. That's what I did. It's just the Italian spirit, you know. Just call everyone Luigi, says Dunringle. Mozzarella. Linguini. Actually, I thought the Italians are probably the nicest Europeans I've ever met. Way nicer than the French. Oh my God. In France, it's considered rude to be nice. Let that sink in. At least I only lost my voice in Florida. That was just such a debacle. How's the luck? I mean, I flew over there to meet people, and that happens. How's the luck? See, I've kind of done this backwards, but I think it really matters. Your only time in Florida, says Wodenshot. Yeah, I know. Well, look, it wasn't like a choice thing. That was when the convention was on. And it was hot. Oh my God. I do not like the heat either. It's not my thing. But I mean, I suppose it was good for, when Graham had his, night, cigar night, everyone was hanging out. That was good. Americans also very friendly by world standards. I've traveled in a lot of Asia. Asia, they're not very nice, but that could be a language thing. They're not nice. It's just, different. Yeah, the humidity was. I mean, but we were mostly indoors. The aircon. I was really looking forward to going to Vegas for gambling reasons. But there's card rooms everywhere. Like when people started talking about Chicago, the first thing I did was research, and they actually have a massive, awesome card room in Chicago. The problem is everything's a bit like Vegas would have been better because it's all there in one place. I don't want to have to catch Ubers around a strange city. You know? Headline: Australian comic book and poker personality gunned down on the streets of Chirac. What have I done here? What have I got lines here? There it is. Hmm. I have no idea what these lines are. None. See how it changes tone? I have no idea what they are. It's not there. Let's go on a little search here. It's not there. It's not there. It's there. Found it. Bloody layers. What are you guys asking? Val, do you have a background in graphic design? I'm a graphic designer. What have I done? Nothing. I'm a graphic designer. I've been a graphic designer since 2004. So I'm 20 years. I'm watching color. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm assuming you may be a professional. Well, I learned comic book coloring doing this, but graphic design, like websites, packaging, branding, anything graphic, that's what I do for 20 years. Also do pre-press, getting things ready for print, stuff like that. I've actually done that for a few CGs for their books. Because you got to know how to set things up to go to print, make sure they're going to print right. I know a lot of people, they set things up and they print too dark. The colors don't come out how they wanted. That's usually because, well, it's a lot of reasons, but, there's color profiles, there's ink limits, there's all sorts of stuff that people just don't know about. They just, I made my thing and I made an RGB and I'm just going to convert it to CMYK and send it off. And then they get incredibly disappointed. Bancroft's immune system must be getting mighty from getting sick all around the world. I nearly died in Paris. I was lying in, and it was cold out. We had the windows of our hotel wide open, and I was just, just in my underwear on top of the sheets, sweating and dying. I'm surprised I lasted the night. But yeah, I suppose what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Oh. All right. What else do I need to do here? Probably something on this, maybe. think that's pretty good. Let's put a little something something on our friend here. TJ cameo. I posted my kind of instances of the inks of this guy on Twitter. Everyone called him generic black guy. But I did my research, and like on, because I don't think I'd drawn an African man before, like African background. Like hairline and stuff like that. Seems to me that friggin' 99% of black guys share a lot of the same characteristics, like this line on the hairline, and then it's really flat across the top. I couldn't find a black guy with a different hairline in reference images and stuff. It's like, oh, I guess that's what it is. Generic. There. I knew I was missing something. Something was a bit off. This whole book, this whole series, I should say, is one giant learning curve for me. Most of the time I'm doing something for the first time, and then the way I go about it is, if I do it and I like the look of it, I then kind of copy myself and just try and repeat that, and that's how I try and get better. And if I go back and that didn't really work, then I just don't do that again. That's pretty much how I operate. Now, this color here should be, try and change the color here. That couch pillow has a big starfish on it as well. It belongs on the sphincter couch. I suppose it does. All the sphincter related furniture that goes over here, please. That's kind of like a couch, if you were to be someone's going to give you therapy, I think. All right, here we go. So it's supposed to be kind of red out there. That looks better. Yeah. All right. One in the bank. What's the time, Mike? Says RBM Entertainment. It is 9:30 in the PM. I never stream this late, ever. We've got 45 people watching. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. Please do like the stream, all that stuff. When people draw black guys, they usually skimp on them more. Got to face forward for that authentic. I don't know what that means. I think I did well. Let's have a look. That's behind. He's running. Yeah, that's probably I don't know. That's like not my favorite shot of him, but you can see a bit more detail. I don't know. It's an awkward angle, but I think I did a better one. There's a better one, but that's sort of like a different color palette. So I want to do all the same palette tonight. This one's looking in through the window shot. They did a lot of this in that TV show. She was shocked to see it. No, she's scared. She's in that armoire. She's hiding, and he's about to find her, or is he? So yeah, she's not. She doesn't want to get found by this guy. Oh my goodness, we got Mr. Mo Biggs now. It's Black. What? Who are you? What have you done with Michael Bancroft? Well, I guess let's wait and see what happens to this guy. He doesn't. He's not a long-term character. Let me just say that. Let's just say Netflix would not approve of what happens in this sequence. It's not bad. The nose could use some tweaking. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, I guess so. I don't normally draw lips like that on a guy. I don't normally define them, but I looked at how other people have drawn black guys in comics, because it's not enough to just see what they, get a photo. You got to see how people have drawn it. And yeah, usually the lips are more they're more rendered like a woman's lips would be in a comic. The MIB, yes. Well, he's a French black, French noir. Français, what noir? I don't know the conjunction. Was that what it's called? Anyway, so I don't exactly know what I'm going to do here, because we're outside. Actually, speaking of, I probably need to. What am I going to do there? The outside of the building is lit from the ground, so it's going to need a highlight going up on it. I'm just going to open up another panel here. Would Paramount Horror Department approve? I don't know. I'm not familiar. The Great Closet. I don't think it's that sort of. I suppose I could show you a little. So I can. What can I show you? I can show that to you. Yeah, I can show that. This is not being fully colored. But yeah. It takes a while to open up because they're 16-bit. I've had to make them 16-bit files, which means they take a while to open up and save. But there you go. Little yeah. That's Ella being absconded with. Is that the verb? And this guy's like, hey, what'd you catch there? So yeah, he doesn't anyway. There's no graping, but there is a little bit of groping, but it's more just he's holding on to her. She's struggling. which is what I think would happen. All right, I got to find out. All right. Okay. So let's pull this in. I mean, he grabs her around the mouth and then around the waist. I guess, I'm not the one. It's Rod Looper who drew a full-on boob grab in Fractured Mind. I didn't ask for that either. He just did it. And I was like, I guess, anything can happen in a fight. Things are, you don't know what's going to happen. He looked like he was pretty skilled at that. I think it might not be the first time he's had to snatch someone. Haven't really, plotted out his history to that extent. We are joined here by my very good friend, Mr. B. Watt, aka The Few. Brad, I've been watching Poker Shorts. The itch is coming back, but I have to stay focused. Brad is my poker partner in crime. And we normally set each other. We did like the other month, set each other a challenge, a friendly challenge. I actually owe him a KFC dinner. That I haven't paid yet. Because he beat me. But it's forthcoming. Maybe it's this. That's too much. There we go. Give it a bit more oomph. Banking the bird. I'll be needing that bucket, thanks. If Bancroft had been eyeing them, I take it poker shorts are booty shorts for dudes who play poker. Something like that. Yeah. So I don't know, I get a bit of the hankering, All right. Now I want to have. I got that saved as a mask. I thought I would have. Oh, there we go. How am I going to do this? This might not work at all, or it might. This is just completely on the fly. It says Bancroft doesn't ordinarily gamble with fried chicken, but he insisted on what he calls method drawing. Just multiply. Just trying to give it a bit of a, like there's glass there, and it's not just a gap, you know. Um, hmm. I might have to figure this out at a later date. Otherwise, I'll just be sitting here not doing anything. I'll turn that off for the time being. Everyone's talking about, what are you guys talking about? Mange and Mandy? We lost Mr. Reese. Good night, Mr. Reese. Mad Shane beyond Woden Dome. All right, I suppose I better do some. Again, I've put the shadows in the wrong place on the friggin'. Well, I suppose it could work there. I think they're on the right on the same page, so I've probably got to be consistent. I think. Oh no, yeah, they are. Yeah. Yeah, Eric, I'll figure it. I'm gonna check out some other stuff that I've done previously and try and replicate that. But I'm not gonna go hunting for that right now. I'll figure it out. We got Mo Biggs heading out. How Mo? See you tomorrow, hopefully. Okay. So I'm saying everything has to be, learnt. It seems I have to do the same thing here on these. Overlord just joined us. RBM Entertainment is heading out. Thank you for stopping by. I tell you, it's hard work doing this, figuring this out. Damn, I hate it when it does that. So far, I'm liking other people's interpretations, like Johnny Scabs, which is different than mine and different than Shane's. This is Wodenshot speaking. Shane's cringe is almost too much for me. It's his secret weapon. I can't do cringe. I just can't take it. It's too much. It's too much. I can't watch it. I can't do practical jokes. It's like a sort of friggin' put my head under a pillow. LECG for my PP is here and is first. Well, almost. Skip says, oh, wow, Kyle Ritter and Gabe are watching you butcher this color job. Those are the days. Remember when how much I was sweating? Gabe came in, it was like, you got to do this, you got to do that. No, you're doing it wrong, you got to do this. And then, wasn't really, I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to do it my way. That's the way I know. He was like, what do I know? I'm only a 2-time Eisner winner. Good old days. Kyle, I just disappointed. Rocket doesn't like Gabe's coloring. He uses a lot of native hues, like just the what do you call it? The actual color as it would be under sunlight. I don't really do that ever. So we have a very different approach. But his rendering is usually pretty top notch. I like my favorite colorists are Kelsey Shannon, Elizabeth Brightweiser, Ivan Nunes, guys like that, or ladies. Oh, Eric, I'm not reading that. Yeah, this is a mask. So that's a mask for the shadows. So we turn the shadows on and off. So whatever is lighter in the mask is darker on the image. And that way, yeah, like if I need to change anything, I don't have to actually touch the flats. There's the flats there. They always stay the same. And I can just, I can adjust it accordingly fairly easily. Simply Green quite likes my muted colors. They do get a bit more. I do put a bit more punch into them before going to print when I do the pre-press, just so that when it prints, they don't come out too flat and muted. But yeah, that's why I've always tried to do that from being inspired by the European books. They're a lot more like that as well. And I just thought, yeah, that's kind of what I want from my palette in the book. And as well, I think it allows me to use the colors to do the storytelling a bit more. Dean White is Skip's favorite colors. I'm gonna have to check him out. Skip, I don't know if I know Dean. almost to an hour. Look, I have to. What can I say? I mean, what's there to say? It's like Arcane, you know. It's part and parcel. It's pretty cool that we've got people watching at this hour. So 41 watching. I was just wanted to do this as an experiment. I haven't really done many process streams of late, and I thought I'm gonna do one really late at night, you know, like when Finn streams, and see what happens. Buddha Bear says Gabe gave me a migraine from Avery's shirt and Isom 1. I don't know exactly what shirt you're referring to, but you never know. You know, it might be under instruction. No. I would love to see the line art for Isom. You know what it looked like before the colors. But I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon. Eric using some quotation marks to great effect. He says, I'm getting a lot of funny but inappropriate. You do you, Eric. You have carte blanche in my chat. You're one of the few people that we've actually met, and you have exchanged gifts with me, which is, it makes you even more special and rare. There's the man. Am I stepping on your toes, Finn? I was hanging out in your chat yesterday, enjoying myself up until about midnight, and then I noticed you weren't streaming tonight, so I'm like, I'm going on, go live. But if you want to start a chat, please start a stream, please do. We got Dave Brink in the house. How you going, Dave? How's the artist edition going? I hope it's going well. He's really good people. Very tall too. Gifts were not bodily fluids. No, I got a bunch of Keshis. Look, I got this. Got this little Cecil Peed from Hal Salad. I got a. It's over there. I got a squishy Crimstone. No bodily fluids or exchange. He says, I'm all streamed out. Well, cool. I'll take it. I'll take it for tonight. Your guitar playing was very good. I was very impressed. I got the feeling you weren't that impressed with yourself, but I understand that. I'm the same. Is that a glowing red Cecil? I don't know if it glows. One of them glowed. The Johnny Phantasm glowed, and it was amazing. It was like holding uranium. When you put it up to a bright light, it looks radioactive. It's pretty cool. He says it's just normal red. Manticore is in here as well. I was interested to see, who would be able to come and hang out at this hour. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be more people from Australia and Europe, and obviously, really, really in the West, late night owls. Tim's challenging himself. Yeah, man. It was sounding good to me. I'm no musician though, so I wouldn't know. Woden Shot says Finn got 2 seconds of guitar playing in between TJ and Patrick T the other night. Maybe it's just me, but I don't get why everyone hates TJ so much. I was batting for TJ in the chat. He was I don't know. I like TJ. Maybe I've missed out on a lot of his history on streams. He seems like a cool guy. But everyone, like, he has some. That man has enemies. Finn says TJ is a trip. He's got 15 children. Does he really? Either way, I was enjoying that stream. Sometimes Finn he has a few beers and he just starts going wild on TJ. Shut the fuck up. Michael Deecher says, it's scary times when TJ is the most sensible voice in the room. Yeah, or when Matt Barr is like the most stable guy in the conversation, which has been the case of late. It's like, what's happening? Matt's usually the guy who loves to what does he say? He calls it keeping it front street. Which I don't think I ever heard that term until I saw Matt. It's wild times out there, I tell you what. Finn says, I get impatient, but he's almost always welcome to hang out. Yeah, I actually like your guys' repertoire. It's very entertaining, even if it gets a bit loopy. I've seen the entire chat at the Stank stream go wild at it. Yeah, I've been there. I'm a long time stank lurker, stirker. I'm a long time stirker, even if I don't always chat. And as Finn pointed out, I was the original Stank stream guest. I went on the very first Stank stream. I'm going to figure out the glass later when I'm not live. Because I don't think I've ever done that effect before. I've done plenty of glass with reflections, but not looking through to a lit room. So I don't know what I'm going to do there exactly. But I forgot the. Finn says we're getting old. Tell me. Definitely not getting any younger, that's for sure. It's like a constant nagging feeling. Need to get more done. Bancroft, hear me out, says CG for my PP. Stained glass windows. You don't think that would distract a little from the scene? Like putting stained glass in there? I think it might. Make this darker. It's not standing out anymore. And thank you for the suggestion. Probably gonna pass on that. I wonder if Mel is listening. She's probably watching baking shows or falling asleep to watching baking shows because it's 10. I said to her, we're just not going to see each other as much for the next couple of months as I finish my book. It's the sacrifice we make. You don't usually get reflections when the other side of the glass is illuminated. The outside wall should be very dark if the interior light is brighter. Yeah, that's the balance I'm not really sure about. But I need to have an effect that looks like there is glass, whatever that is. Whatever. It might just be kind of an overlay of some kind. Because if you look at a photo, it's just going to be see-through. So that's not going to help me at all. We got Bretsky the Great in the house. What did you miss? Everything. Everything and nothing. All at once. Finished my tea. I did that one. I've done this one. Should we do something a bit? All right, so he's out in the light. She's in the now. This gap is not technically accurate, but look, it is what it has to be. Okay, I can't make it any thinner. Because you need to be able to see him. Movie magic, you know? Here's what it is. Sacrifices are a must. I tell you, making comics is something else. And really, it's like a kinship, you know, with other people, especially people who do a lot of it, whether it's the line art and the colors, or they write and draw, or just do. And then some people like me, idiots, do way too much of it. Camel, he's another guy who does everything. There's a bunch of us out there, which which is just born out of necessity, because when you start, you don't have any money. You do what you have to. So you have to kind of like learn everything. And then everyone, you want the book to be consistent, so just keep doing it. And it's a lot of work. But there's this sort of kinship you have with others. Shantan Jetty is another one, that you just kind of like give each other the nod. Yeah. I know what it's like. Maybe some sort of lens flare. I'll play around. I'll see. I'll figure it out. I always figure it out. Even if I have no idea how I'm going to do it, I've never had anything that I have not been able to figure it out eventually, even if it takes me a little while. We got Eddie Winkler in the house. He says, looking good. I have a few minutes before work, so I called the stream. Well, thank you so much for being here, Mr. Eddie Winkler. Hope all is well, my friend. Hope the family is well. Ellie says, I look at Jimmy Palmiotti. I'm like, what a great life. I didn't actually watch, so I'll have to take your word for it. But yeah, I assume so. Living the dream. You can do it, says Woden Shot. Thank you. I will do it. I just don't know exactly how I'm going to do it right now. But, I wonder if this color is a little off. This highlight is a little off on him. I have to change that. It makes him look jaundiced. Or maybe it's him. Look. You can't go too dark on the skin. Otherwise, it's going to look muddy. But I think that's better. Now I might be able to go back to what that was. Eddie's got to get out of here. See you, Eddie. Always great to see you. Eddie is such a nice guy. Too nice for comic books, you know? All right, now she is in the wardrobe of death. So I'm thinking I might. Let me try something here. I might put a blue over the top of her to indicate darkness. And then I'm going to put some orange, some yellow highlights over that. We'll see how that looks. Question is, do you want to do the rest? Hold on a sec. Just got to delete that. Where is it? There. I'm working on my masks at the moment. I'm just masking out what's inside and what's outside. We'll see how this looks. Oh, that might be too much. Pump that down a bit. Yeah. Darkness is. Runs with Scissors has joined us. Hello, hello. So there 45 people watching. Thank you so much. Now, if I hit her with some... Why is it like that? What is my mask doing here? Oh, right. Because there's another panel from the same... Right, okay, that makes sense. There's another panel from pretty much the same position. You'll see in a second. Where she's got her hands... she's got a hand over her mouth. As you would. What's going on? Massive Panda asks. Coloring. Tried to find some... I mean, look. Spoiler schmoiler, right? I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end of the story, but you can see a few panels here and there. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to kill your enjoyment, I think, of the overall reading experience. Now, this is far too yellow. I don't like that at all. But we can adjust it. That's why I like working in masks. All right. Just go with that for the moment. I'll do the other panels and I'll decide what the final deal is. Woden Shot thinks it looks nice. Well, thank you, thank you. I think it looks good. It's funny how the different colors have different, like blues and reds. They're just they don't want to play together, essentially. Sounds like I missed something on Shane's stream tonight. It's Woden Shot. I know Woden Shot is always such a friendly owl, to me at least. Crowfire Studios, we are awake at the same time. It's a miracle. Dude, your book is looking so good. Holy cow. Can't wait. All right, so we have that one. Now, the real one, so you can see that's like he's like, what's up there? How's that nose Woden Shot? I think I went wide enough there. Like that is, and I wouldn't do this on a white guy. Put like a full black shadow on the top lip. I'm pretty happy with that one actually, but I'm always happier with smaller faces. That's my. Speaking of Shane is a master of the face. You know, he knows all the planes and where the shadows go and everything. I don't know any of that. Like that's proper art. I just, do the outlines and color it, and hopefully it looks good. But I much prefer my characters when they're kind of small, because I think the brain fills in anywhere that's kind of missing. But yeah, I was happy with that. Right. But like Shane will do these panels, of a close up of a face, and it'll be quite, and he'll get all like he'll go in there properly. And I think there's not like the only other person who I think can do when I say a face, like an actual proper portrait of a face, is probably, like, at least in this space, is probably Kenneth Rocafort is the only other guy who could compete, I think, with Shane on that aspect. No, really, when I think about it, anyone else who's doing that to that degree. Maybe Kelsey, but Kelsey has a very different style. So she's hiding in the closet. Remember the hip hop opera? Come out of the closet. Oh my god. I just read Woden Shot's latest comment. I'm not gonna. It's getting wild out there. Shit's getting crazy. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's trying to compete with Trashcast, and it's like people are. I watched that entire R. Kelly rap opera, by the way, rap opera. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was transfixed. I had to see the end. So I guess in that sense, he was a success. It was a success, I suppose. Yeah, R. Kelly's trapped in the closet. It's something. William Wellborn, Trashcast regularly gets 2.5 to 3,000 viewers. Yeah, it's pretty nuts, huh? Pretty crazy. That's more than even at the peak of like right after the big boom moment of when CG's birth. Before the Ides of March, before the fall of Rome, sorry, not Ides of March, before the fall of Rome, Ethan, I think, averaged between 1.5 to 2,000 a night on Comicsgate Live. And then after fall of Rome, the big shake up, never really, I mean, occasionally would. I think one time I actually had 4,500 people watching. I think that was the Snyder thing. Can't really remember. We have to pull this out. So do a little bit of a transfer Rooney over here. Manicourt says, yeah, this is something else. Yeah, and it's bringing a lot of new people in. Katie did. I went on her channel the other day. It's like 200 people watching. Eric July is the topic du jour, and we've got a few sales over there, which is really cool. Nice people over there. Ethan is getting a speech impediment from streaming so much. I haven't noticed that, but man, I mean, I don't know how he does it. I do not. But then I've never known how he does it. Like, apart from the odd drawing stream, I used to do 2 hours a week of drawing streams. I guess when I very started out, I would do, I think the longest I did was a 9-hour stream, but there were probably 10 people on the panel. So it wasn't me just talking the entire time. I don't know how he does it. I literally don't know how he does it. No, hang on. I had the other colors, didn't I? What am I doing? Yep. Okay. See, Ellie says, honestly, don't think Mint is autistic. She's just a fidgety Gen Z. I think she is, but obviously, I'm no medical man. I know it was just sort of the way of talking, but it looked unusual to me. But whatever. Like I was saying, who was talking about this today? I think it was Dillard. It was somewhere. I was just like, look, the chat will decide. This discussion on who's CG and blah blah blah. So I've never got into that. That's yeah. But yeah, the chat will decide. As they always have. William's talking about the Patrick Tomlinson stuff. That's a trip. Do you think he actually did it all himself? I remember. I feel like I've seen a lot of this stuff through JDA, so it's kind of like just going over it again. But imagine living your life like that. Why? Why is the internet such a weird place? Why? I suppose they were always there, but we just didn't know about them, these types. And now we do. Now we have the opportunity. And not only do we know about them, but a lot of them are quite famous now. They're influencers. They're out there. They're authors or whatever. And now we get the pleasure of, I guess, acting like a voyeur, watching it all go down from the comfort of our desks. D, oh my goodness, D, hail, man, it's great to see you in the chat. Send it to Bogan chat. He says, I blame the internet. It's definitely social media. It's definitely social. Like the whole social media thing is a massive experiment that we just, as a society, like everywhere, all societies, except for, maybe some lost tribes in India and the Amish, just ran headfirst in without looking. And we're kind of dealing with that now. This whole social media thing. I mean, it's very telling that all the people who run social media companies, they don't allow their children to have access to social media. We are not letting our kids have a phone until they're 18. They're allowed to have one, but they got to buy it themselves. I mean, a phone with that capability. We'll probably get them, like a phone that you can make a call for emergencies on, but no like social media or anything like that. I have been well. I've been super busy, D, but yeah, no complaints. Book's getting done. I think it's coming out great. I'm having a meeting with Joe tomorrow for some story structure stuff. It's funny how I look at this. You really, as the creator, as the person who's writing it and drawing it or whatever, you really do get too close to it, so you can't see the forest for the trees. So it is invaluable if you are making a comic. Hire a professional editor who knows comic books, who knows stories, who knows art, knows what he's doing, who can go over your stuff, because he will see things that you can't. Doesn't matter how good you are. He will see it in a way that you can't see it because you are the creator of it. So you're inserting your own biases onto it. And I was like, damn, he's so right. Sending me notes of what I need to fix. I was like, how did I not see that? That's so obvious now that you've pointed it out. But, so many people, they don't want to pay any extra money. They don't, they just send it to print, and then it's the internet to laugh at. Tell you how bad you are. Yeah, I've been up late just because I gotta get this thing done. I gotta get it out. I gotta get this monkey off my back. Normally I'm a morning person, but I don't know, just lately I've been, you know what it was? I started playing poker again on Friday and Saturday, and sort of threw my habits a bit of whack. But I've not had been playing the last month. Master Panda says, despite the handful of advantages the social media has given us, I still think it's more damaging to society overall. Yeah, well, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. You know, this is what we have to just learn how to deal with it. What is that on her face? What on her face? Her hand? Her fingers? Are they not fingering? I shouldn't say that. Are they not fingery enough? Incorrectly drawn? It's probable. I don't know. D. Sorry to hear that, bro. That's tough. That is tough. Rodin Shot says, going through your formative years with social media is effed up. If you're Gen X, you probably missed it. I did miss it. Yeah, thankfully. I didn't get social media didn't become a thing until I was 29, 27. Ginger Root 2.0. Yeah, probably. Maybe it'll be more obvious in context when we get this panel. It was like there's a comic book where I just saw the one panel. I thought a guy was shoving a like a piece of fried chicken in the guy's face. I'm like, what is that? But then I saw the other panels and I thought, no, he's got a baseball bat. It was just a foreshortening, you know. So it was fine in context. Yeah, that's rough, D. I'm sorry to hear that, man. There's nothing, you know. Well, we all know there's nothing a man wants less than that. Ellie says, I had a friend insisted Friendster was the next big thing. I was like, MySpace will never die. Facebook took us both out. Yeah, I remember my friend bugged me and bugged me and bugged me to get onto Facebook. I mean, he was adamant. He's like, you got to get on. It took months and months of him to convince me to open up Facebook. And then I don't know how many years later I shut it all down. Really. I wish I never had. Although even if you haven't opened a Facebook account, they still have you on there through, you know, downloading people's contacts on their phone, which is really skeevy. All these companies are. Crowfire is out of here. Great to see you, man. Hope to see you soon. Look at all the love everyone's given D. Man, we understand. People come in and out. It's all good. We got Hojo in here. Great to see you, Hojo. I'm going to read Hojo's book very soon. And then if I like it enough, I'm going to talk about it. I'm sure I will. Everyone raves about it. So mythicals, I'm sure I will. I'll do a little read through. Almost at 20,000 subs. I know, right? How crazy. I can't wait to have some more time on my hands to actually do a bit more on the channel. Start building it up again. Because I have been slacking on that. All right, so I think pretty much, yeah. Didn't mean to do that. Apologies for that. More shorts, yeah. I'm going to be doing more shorts focused on what I like, though. So I don't expect that they're not going to be going mega viral, I wouldn't imagine, like the other ones have. But hopefully they'll do okay. I feel like I know how to make shorts now. I know the rhythm you need, and it really is all about the rhythm of them. I see people making shorts and they don't really take off, and I can tell them why they're not taking off, because they're not really doing them right. But I mean, if you just want views and clicks and subs and stuff, it's actually super easy. It's almost criminal how easy it is to get hundreds of thousands of views. You just got to talk about stuff people are talking about. It's not rocket science. We got Amanda B in the house. Good morning. What time is it over there? It must be very early, wouldn't it be? All right, so I don't exactly know what I'm going to do here, but I'm going to give it a go. And just see. So I think this one's going to be kind of soft. Yeah, you guys are against TikTok. The problem with that is TikTok is like the one place that is really performing, for a lot of guys. It's really getting them big results, both in views and money and everything. So I understand, It is a wild skip, if you can believe it, Amanda. In the flesh. I knew I would get, different people on here. If I streamed at strange hours. Now, question is, do I want to do that? And if I add this, Amanda says, never had the TikTok app, but I can still watch the shorts that people share. That's how they get you. I think it's because I've still got it. There we go. Amanda says, I don't need more social media. Yeah, I'm pretty much just Twitter now. Mel runs my Instagram, so she has to tell me whenever someone sends me a message over there. Yeah. So I know to respond. Ellie says, with MySpace, Tom was your friend. With TikTok, Xi Jinping is your big brother. Very true. Tom was a mad lad. I hope he got rich. I hope he made a lot of money, and then now he's just living the dream. Skip says, I wondered why I preferred messaging you on Instagram. I was less mean. I did used to give it to Skip a little bit back in the day. All in friendly. Remember the Christmas remember the Christmas gift video, Skip? How do I find that? Skip. Be in YouTube somewhere. Merry Christmas. Christmas. Wrench. It's kayfabe, bro. At the B row. We played that too much. What would that be called? Skip Edwards? I don't know where that is. Jim Cox says Skip used to be entertaining. Oh my god. Mary. I've got the thumbnail, but I don't know. I don't have the, because you would have sent that. You would have sent that to me, so I probably haven't. Yeah, it's probably downloaded or something. Ah well. Ah well. Skip says he used to be lots of things. Entertaining though. Yeah. Being mean sucks, says Woden Shot. I saw what it's done to Shane Davis tonight, and I have deep remorse. I did used to do a lot more kayfabe than I do now. That is true. I guess I just sort of get over it, you know? Look, what happened? He's running out. He didn't look. He didn't go in. Something happened. Maybe he heard something. That's funny, Sock. Sock says, wait, has he been disrespected? No, it's not that. But as you saw earlier, he does eventually get his hands on her. So something happens. But then what happens after that? I'm afraid you're just going to have to read the comic. I'm not going to give that away. Did you see? I've got to show it actually. This is pretty hilarious. Dimwitted Chicken says, "Is that fried chicken?" You got to see this. So you remember Gemini, right? How it would not show white people at all. Of all people, it was Andrew Tate who figured out how to get it to show white people. You got to see this. This is whole. I'm so upset. It came out and got kind of the images got taken down before I got to play with it. But yeah, he cracked the code. He figured out how to get it to show white people. Check this out.
I found a way to make the AI machine show white people. What? Ask who likes fried chicken.
You made this up.
No,
That can't be true.
that's true. I found a way to make the AI machine show white people. What? Ask who likes fried chicken.
Although I do remember there was one of show English kings eating watermelon, and it was I can search it. I found it. It's like English kings eating watermelon, and they actually did it. Like 17th century British king eating watermelon. They lost $70 billion in market share over this. 70 billion in value. I guess that's like nothing to them, I guess. I don't know, but so I don't know. I don't know the logic behind it. But it's still crazy. It's still completely crazy. People are messing with it through text, and it is insane. It's like, oh, it's better to not misgender someone, even if it would save the world from a nuclear holocaust, or it's all just regular SJW, hating on white people stuff. So it's not fixed in any way. They just didn't want to have the optics of, well, what we just saw, and black Nazis and stuff. Do not try to out retard the internet, says Simply Rain. Hello, mornings. Hello, sorry. Good morning, Scarlet Fever. It's funny. This is like a morning show for everyone. For me, it's 10:47 in the PM. I annoy Mel whenever I say it's 10:47 p.m. at night. Like I go, like it's 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m. in the morning, you know? That really annoys her. But I am's what I am. I can't change now. Too old. Too fucking blind. Manticore says it's 10:17 in the PM here. So you're half an hour behind. Really? Where would be half an hour behind? Didn't realize there were half time zones in that way. Redundancy avoids confusion, says Eric. I know, right? It's like a double tap. There's no confusion whatsoever. Although, having said that, Mel also is from France, where they use the 24-hour clock, which is just, I mean, it's a whole nother kettle of fish. This stream is a bad dream for me, says Jolly Green. A painted death, perhaps. We do live in a weird reality. 24-hour clock is superior. Yeah, it used to annoy me when I was younger, but I figured it out now, so it's fine. I know all the numbers. I just had to learn it by heart. I could, like, so like, you just do this and you plus. No, you had to learn it by heart. That was, whoa, what happened there? That was really the only way I could manage it. A waking dream. Now I had him in a different color, I think. I think his white is a little too white. Let's knock that back a bit. A dream within a dream, says Manticore. Just subtract 2 and you have the PM number? Yeah, but what if it's not the PM? And I guess that's just normal then, isn't it? Is that true? So 23 minus 2 is 21. That doesn't make sense. 12 minus 2 is 10. Now, I didn't get what you mean. Berghoff, can you give an update on your book with Looper? Yeah, he's working on pages here and there. He hasn't been super productive of late, but he's got about, I think he's got about 7 pages left to draw. I think it's about 7, maybe 8. And he's also got the cover to draw as well. I've got to start getting the thing flattered. I tried to get Victoria to flat it. I think it was a bit beyond her current skill set. So I'll hire a actual flatter. No, minus 12. It's not that hard. 23 minus 12. No, that's already arithmetic. Just learn it by heart. It's fine. I believe you. I'm just saying, I don't want to have to do arithmetic whenever someone tells me the time, you know? It's just me. It's like foot, feet, and inches, and centimeters, and millimeters, and meters. You know, you just got to learn them by heart. It doesn't matter if you could say, well, you know, an inch is 2.54 centimeters. No one wants to do maths when someone tells them something. You just got to kind of know it, you know? Yeah, I get it, Hojo. I get it. I'm terrible at arithmetic, which is funny because I didn't take I took kind of middle maths, like retard maths in year 12. I took middle, so not the hard one, obviously. But I completely aced everything in the middle one. So my teacher was like, "Why are you taking, you know, advanced math?" I was like, "Because I don't want to have to think. Obviously, this is easy." So why would I need to learn friggin' you know, essentially the crazy algebraic friggin' crap and struggle when I can just, and actually what I was learning was statistics and stuff like that and spreadsheets, actual useful things, and a little bit of, you know, trigonometry and stuff like that. I didn't take retard math, Sark. I didn't. There was one below. No calculus. Absolutely not. No. But I've always been terrible with arithmetic. That is just not how my brain works. I can understand so much in other ways, visually or with language. Language is always easy for me. I never had any issue understanding Shakespeare or, you know, the Bible or anything like that. And I always had a sense for poetry and stuff like that, for the rhythm. It just came to me. I knew it. And art was pretty much the same as well. I could see things visually. I can move things around and all this other stuff. But you give me numbers, it's just like my brain it's like there's sand in the cogs and it just immediately just grinds to a halt. See you, William. Thanks for hanging around. So yeah. Success math is visual, but it requires a good teacher. I have seen lessons and stuff presented in a way that was completely different to how I learned it, and I did find it easier. But also don't really need it as much, you know. It's like a niche topic now. Like I don't need it, so you know. It's apart from in poker, you know, I've had to memorize all the poker maths. I don't do that on the fly. I memorized it. Oh. We got Shadowpunk in the house. Yeah, it's nearly 11. I've been coloring until midnight for a week. Getting pages done, getting panels done. I'm not going to make the deadline that I wanted to make for the coloring challenge, but I don't think I'll be too far off. Probably maybe a week into March, which isn't a complete disaster. Not what I wanted, but not a complete disaster. Are you using Clip Studio? No, using Photoshop. Clip Studio does. I don't enjoy it for colors. And I've worked in Photoshop and I've stayed on top of all the advancements and everything in it. For even before I started working as a graphic designer. So probably like back in 97, 96, no, not 96, 97, 98. It's super powerful, and it's what I know. But Clip Studio Paint is so much better for the line art, so I just jump between the two. Paris Puzzle Gate soon. That will be happening in March, 100%. It has to. There's no. Well, I mean, the piece, I will be doing the piece in Paris in March, and then I'm going to put up an Indiegogo Kickstarter Fund My Comic. It'll be on there. I miss Macromedia freehand. I don't know if I ever used. I used Corel Draw. I used Quark Express. That's how old I am. I tell you, putting these guys in Men in Black suits was the best idea I ever had. I never do any of the detail except for the tie and a little bit of the outline of the hem and stuff like that. I earned that, I think, after drawing friggin' Ella and Damon's clothes 300 different ways. I earned that. I can totally see why, let's make Venom. We got Black Suit Spider-Man. We're gonna need a new villain. We'll make Venom. He's essentially just a big, thicker Black Suit Spider-Man. It's so easy to draw. And I like the idea that they look like the Men in Black, because everything in the Lucent is supposed to be an explanation of the kind of legends and memes that we have. The Illuminati, who are they really? Well, you got to read the Lucent to find out. Who are the Men in Black? Read the Lucent. Even though I don't explicitly call them that ever, you'll be able to see, who's who. And obviously I've just, made them around my world. I find that fun. I like that stuff. Jeff said, I used Corel Draw as well. Then everyone else got into Photoshop. Yeah, that was the same. For me, it was Quark. I was a Quark expert. And then InDesign came out and I was like, oh. And then I used it. It was like, my boss said, so what do you think? He's like, oh man, I ain't ever coming back. Cutfuls has been working alongside. He says, pencil's done. Starting the inks later. Excellent. Fantastic, Eric. See you later. Thanks for hanging out. The ominous they. Yes, they. Who are they? The secrets are revealed when bankruptcies die. That is so true. Freaking Jake got me on that once. Can't remember. I think I might have been drunk actually. Right. Kind of sick of doing those panels. Getting some done here. Let's go fast forward to this one. This one I've sort of been dreading, although I probably shouldn't. It doesn't. It probably wouldn't be that hard. Let's have a crack. Let's have a crack. See how we go. If it fails, I can always just do it off stream again, like I normally do. Is this through a Scotch glass? No, it's through a Scotch decanter. I wanted to have him kind of like obscured, distorted, you know. Creative says, Bancroft, I can do color flats if you want me to. I might hit you up. I do have some flats I need done. Shadowpunk says the eye goes to the top right. Over here? Well, that's where the text is. That's where the balloon is. So I guess that works. He looks very pink. Sark says, that's pretty dope. Well, thank you. I don't even remember how I did that. I think I drew him normally. I know that because I have him here somewhere normal. I've still got that saved. And then I found a whiskey decanter with that cool effect on it. And just sort of like replicated the shadows and stuff as best as I could. And then I think I just used like some kind of warp tool. I think it's been so long. Is that a small guy or a big bottle? It's a regular guy, but the bottle is up really close. You know, I guess you got to use your imagination. General Meerkat says, I do sick comic coloring in Photoshop. Where can I send a sample? Well, just at me on Twitter or something. It's the best way to do it. I'm always looking for cool new art to share on the art share. All right. I don't know if I have the actual bottle I think I'm just gonna have to brush in the highlights on the bottle. There's no really other way around that. Just gonna have to eyeball it, make it as good as I can. Again. What the hell? Stop doing that. Pumping up these shadows a bit more. I hate it when you've got the wrong brush. I think there should be a light coming in from the behind here somewhere too. Do I have it that way? That way. There we go. Not on any social media. Guess I should be for my art, but I really hate places like Twitter. I still love Twitter. I used to actually love Twitter. Twitter used to be cool. Oh, it really does seem to be a hive of scum and villainy, unfortunately. It was when you could just, I remember there was a period where you would just open Twitter and you just see death. It was like Twitter may as well have been facesofdeath.com. So I had to mute and block so many people. So why does it keep, and there weren't anyone I was following. They were just, I guess they were popular, so they would show it to you. And I just couldn't understand it. Netico says, it grows on you after a while, and it's definitely worthwhile for networking. Yeah, that's really, the majority use it for its networking, and then about 40% for just like, I use it as a bulletin board, essentially, you know, and retweeting people and stuff like that. I don't get into it on Twitter. I know a lot of people do. I actually think that's overall probably a pretty detrimental thing to do. It's just not, human beings weren't meant to argue over text. That's just not a thing that we do. And it's so easy to just you know, be incredibly, take people at, you know, give them the least generous interpretation of what they're saying. What do you mean? There's actually a great Key and Peele skit about that, where one guy is just like super chill. It's like, oh yeah, whatever, man. Yeah, you know. And then they go, whatever. What do you want? And he's getting really angry. It's great. It's exactly Twitter. Now his skin is too light too. I always find if you want your colors to pop, that's what I do anyway. I make the base darker and lighten it up with overlay layers. linear dodge, overlay, whatever it is, hard light. I use lots of different things depending on the hue. It seems to give different effects. G'day creators outlet. It's late actually, not early, late. Overlay gives some sick effects. I do like overlay. I'm impartial to overlay. A lot of my highlights are overlay. Actually, I like hard light as well. This one though is linear dodge, which you've got to be very gentle with. You can see, like, check out my mask, how light it is, because it'll blast anything out if you go too harsh with it. Here we got a few little things down there I forgot about, eh? Well, how's your father down here? Oh yeah, just a little bit subtlety, All right, his face. Making comics ain't easy. I suppose making good comics ain't easy, I should say. But if you're a nobody, you really do have to make a great comic. Visually, story, concept, whatever. Because otherwise no one's going to give two shits about you. Looks like magic to me, says Woden Shot. It's a combination of layers, really. There's a shadow layer, highlight layer, different colors on the highlights. Damn it, shouldn't have clicked that. I don't have much OCD, but the one thing I do have OCD in is I like to have the thing go the whole way over the screen, and there's no automatic way to do that. All right. I'm going to do this. Don't worry. I'm not going to keep it like that. Because I think I'm probably just going to paint in the highlights on the bottle. I think that's probably the best way to do it. We'll see how we go. If it doesn't look good, I will delete it and start again. I literally have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just hacking at it. See how we go. If it doesn't look any good, it's fine. Oh my goodness. Mr. Odin in the house. How are you, my friend? Hope you're doing very well. We were talking about Embrace today. I still need to do the final kind of highlights on that piece, by the way. But, yeah, someone was asking about it on Twitter. There you go. That's a good reason to be on Twitter. So I shared what I had, and I was like, oh, man, I could do better than this. It looks good. I agree. I like it. I'm proud of it. But I think it needs some specular highlights and maybe a little bit of texture. Not sure. Either way, that book is very much anticipated, I think. A lot of people are waiting for that one. Talking about the Embrace 2. Gab, formerly Gek. Big fan of Shane's stream earlier. He says maybe he can make it a weekly thing. Shane is streaming a lot. I don't know how he does it. I guess he works a lot on streams and he can do that. I can't easily be involved in an actual conversation and work at the same time. Like I can respond to the chat a little bit, and that's about it. Sometimes. Shane was so engrossed in his meltdown earlier that he forgot to plug his stream with Mandy that's later today. What was he melting down over? What got him so animated? What released the mange? You might not know this, Woden Shot. I was there on one of his very first meltdowns. It was against Sean Gordon Murphy. I was there with him. It was me, Leroy. I think maybe Phil Diaz was there. Kelsey had been on earlier, but he left before the meltdown. I think I'm remembering that right. That was one of the original. Yeah, that was the beginning of the spiral meme. It was the floor chips. Oh no, it went down immediately. We had to actually somehow get a hold of Yanzi, who we didn't really know that well at the time, to get her to take the stream down, because he was, I mean, it was the things he was saying. I think he was quite inebriated. Just between friends. Finacha remembers it. Jav remembers it. That stream came after the graveyard shift closed up. Yes, it was I think it was the stream where Malin had made more than Sean Gordon Murphy, and Sean Gordon Murphy was kind of the like hot shit in comics at the time. He was riding high on the success of Batman White Knight and had unfortunately said a very silly thing before going live with his campaign, so that even when he made a bunch of money, it ended up not looking as good, because he said, oh, if I make $500,000 or $1 million, you know. So even though he made a couple 100,000, it ended up looking like a failure. So yeah, and Malin had made more than him, and Shane was celebrating that fact in a way that only Shane can. Did you use a reflection reference for that bottle, Michael? Yeah, it's been a while, so I think I found a bottle, and then I would have played with the levels, so to get like a bit more, you know, a bit more black and white sort of reference for it, you know, because you wouldn't normally, it's a glass bottle, you wouldn't normally, doesn't have inks, and then just sort of went at it like that. Yeah, the Murphy method. That was it. He's done, and he did it again. He kind of claimed crowdfunding as the Murphy method. That's pretty funny. It's weird. I think if Sean Gordon Murphy had made a really cool metal muscle car book, I think he would have made $500,000. You know, he made the Zorro thing, and then it turns out it's like a feminist Zorro. He made the plot holes, which is like, and I would have backed Sean Gordon Murphy, but the plot holes is there. I was like, what? Anyway, Bancroft should check out Peter Pringle. Who's Peter Pringle? Woden says, I only started heckling him about a year ago after lurking for another year or so prior. I used to shit on Jack Show for fun, but nothing beats abusing Shane. He's such a great guy to beat up, very lovable. He was very Shane is very friendly in person. It actually kind of surprised me, you know, because he's got this persona. But when I met him, and he's very, very friendly, you know, it's very good. He wasn't dressed as Mange though. I did see him going around as Mange, but I didn't want to interrupt his performance. He's a guy who sings the Epic of Gilgamesh in the traditional Sumerian that accompanies it with instruments. Oh my god. Crazy. I did listen to an audiobook of the Epic of Gilgamesh about a month ago, and just to sort of, it had been a while, you know, I wanted to kind of remember the, you know, what I was drawing from a bit again, and yeah, it made me appreciate the prologue to Pain of Death even more. Jeff Styler saw Gaguramesh live in Vakken. I think that's a different guy. I don't think that's the 6,000-year-old Sumerian king of Uruk. It's the Japanese band from the Sakura Con meme. Jeff, you know I'm not fluent in German anymore. I wish I was. I thought you could just learn a second language and it would be with you forever. Turns out no. If you don't use it, you lose it. Which even started happening to Mel, if you can believe. Your native tongue, she started forgetting because she'd been in Australia for so long. Not anymore, because now she's got the kids to talk to, but I didn't even know that could happen. Languages are tough like that. They are. I'm really happy I learnt German. Just for the kind of the fact that I did it. You know, not many people have done something like that. I know a lot of people start, I'm going to learn a language, but not many people actually go through with it and learn it and get to the point of being fluent. So I'm proud of that. But it also really made me understand language a lot better. It's one of those things you can't really understand until you speak a second language. I don't think you really quite understand your own language because it's just how you think. You don't know anything. You don't have any context to refer it to. I wanted to know what it felt like to speak in another language because I didn't really know. And I was like, oh, so you actually do exist in that language. You don't translate English to German in your head and then speak it. You think and speak in German. That's how it is. German has cool compound words. Yeah, German is a very fun, unusual language. There's great videos going around of how German does its own thing with certain words, especially with vocab. But once you get the feel of the language, it's actually not that difficult as a language, I don't think. It wasn't for me anyway. They say that, if you speak English, it's not super hard to learn German. French, I find basically impossible. Andrew Garfield is in the Lucent. Who, this guy? That's Jude. Not him? That's not him. He's a new character. Very important. Will be. Not so much in Painted Death, but he makes his first appearance. German has definitions for the most nuanced instances, right? I think English and German are pretty similar in that front. There's lots of things in German, yes, that you can't. There's no single word for in English. You just have to say a thing. That is absolutely 100% true, and you can't really know it until you learn German, and then you understand. You're like, that's cool. I have a completely new concept of a thing. But I think there's lots of stuff like that in English. Yeah, well, exactly. I haven't learned the language of the Imperium, Michael. Yeah, the Latin thing, I understand it, but there's so many what's it when there's so many conjugations of the verbs. the formal and the informal and the things and everything. And I just found that easier in German. Although the vocab is super easy in French because it's so much of it is the same. It's just they pronounce it differently. I can still remember Mel asking for the thermometer. I'm like, she's like, the thermometer. I just couldn't get what she was asking for. And then it clicked. You know, in French, they don't. In English, we always emphasize a syllable. One of them. It doesn't matter what one it is. It seems to be higgledy-piggledy, but in French, every word is pronounced flat. There's no inflection in that sense. So that if a French person says a word that they've never heard before, but they know how it's spelled, they'll usually just say it flat. And sometimes you end up with something like thermometer. And it's thermometer. Thermometer. Exactly. And it was so obvious, but at the time I was like, I couldn't. That always annoys her when I can't understand. She doesn't do that really anymore, but when she first moved here, it did happen. Gab, thought about going on Abra's 2 cents. I would love to go on Abra's 2 cents. I met Abra in Tampa, and she's a very lovely woman. I met her husband. She bought me 2 whiskeys. I shared a whiskey with Cecil, and we had a good conversation. It was great. Unfortunately, I had no voice, so it was very difficult for everyone to understand me, but they humored me. I would love to go on Abra's. I'm not going to invite myself, though. Handcroft gatekeeping the best in the chat. What did I gatekeep? I hated French, took 6 years of Latin, which I hated even more after a while. Why would you speak the new words when the goats have said all that matters? But no one else speaks that language. I mean, if you want to rebuild Rome, let's do it. You and I. Let's bring it back. We got D-Wag in the house. As we say to D-Wag. I can't even read that, Moromi. It's in some strange font. How do you even do that? Can we rebuild it with some lowercase letters this time? I actually got to use some Latin the other day. It was in a DM. Someone sent me a DM. Oh, no, it wasn't a DM. It wasn't a DM. It was a message from my daughter. I had bought a Subway at lunch, and I had a Subway cookie, and I was saving it for after work, after like working on the book and everything. So when I go inside and I want to sit down, have a cup of tea, and eat my chocolate chip Subway cookie as a reward for all my hard work. And my daughter said, I should find it actually, because I'll forget what I actually wrote. Where is it? Kind of been too long ago. Oh, yeah. She said, "You left your cookie in the car. I'm tempted to eat it." And I said, you're going to kill my pronunciation here, Michael. I said, "In pace requiescat," which I believe translates to "it's your funeral," which I stole from, what's it? Doc Holliday. That effect on the glass is perfection. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm just kind of hacking at it, whatever. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just going at it. I'm sure someone will point out that's not what would actually happen, which I don't think really matters. People were, Chessgate last week. Chessboard is like going to be this big on the page. It doesn't really matter if a few of the pieces are off. Yes, the line from Tombstone. I love that line. I couldn't remember how he pronounced it though. We don't need any trouble in here, not in any language. I love that. Man, I love that movie. It means rest in peace. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's what it literally means. But to me, like, you can translate that to something a bit more. It's your funeral. It's time to watch Tombstone again. Tombstone is a movie I can watch while I draw, because I don't have to look at it. I can just hear it and I know what's happening. I can see it in my head while I draw. I just have to listen. Same with Lord of the Rings. Alrighty. I think I'm happy with that. You never know when you start these things if it's going to work. Look, that's all that is. That's the meat and the sausage. That's all it is. It's a bit of that. It's a bit of that. Mix in a bit of that. Hang on, bit of that. And lay it over all together. Bit by bit. And eventually end up with an image. So just do all that. Tombstone is epic. Oh, it's so good. Anus apertus? I don't know that one. The Pace pronunciation is Italian. How do you pronounce it? Can you write it in phonetically? It's one of the best. Go ahead, get in that smoke wagon and see what happens. Every scene is great. It's a hard C. Pake. Is that a hard? I don't know. Pake. Okay. In Pake, I don't even know how to pronounce the last word. I never learnt Latin. They never even offered it here. I know they do in Europe still. You learn Latin in high school, which makes sense, you know, especially in France. It's a base of your language. The script is perfect. Me and my friends were quoted back and I mean, it really is like that. That's it. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. I'm gonna watch it while I work. Requiescat. Requiescat. In pace requiescat. Yeah, I don't think I'm winning any Latin awards. Thank you, Time of Reckoning. All right, everyone. It has been 3 hours, and it is 11:45. It is 11:43 p.m. at night. God, I hope Mel isn't watching. I'm sure she isn't. She's asleep by now. We got a few panels done. A bit closer to my goal, and I got to hang out with all you. And we had like 40 to 50 people in here all night. So that's cool. I might do this next Wednesday if no one else is streaming again. Good stuff. All right, everyone. Back to Lucent. See you tomorrow. I'm gonna go to bed. Catch you later.
This country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman. That's why you gotta make your own moves.